start this video by showing there is no key in the ignition. Alright? Alright, so this is basically the camping mod, which also is going to be practical for the people in the back seat if there's an accident or something of the sort and they need to get out the back window. Can't get out the front. You know, maybe there's a wreck in the front, whatever. So basically what we're doing here is bypassing all the switches that are basically safety switches for the rear window control module, which works off of the window lock. You can add this to this mod, okay? And it also works off the top off detection switch. So basically, this is so that you can roll up your rear window, which this is just a test to show. Basically, let's get a close up here. Okay. Okay, so you got, there we go. Okay. Off the switch, you're going to use the red and the blue wire with the red stripe, the red wire with the yellow stripe, and the green wire with the yellow stripe. Okay. The red wire with the yellow stripe goes to the blue wire with the black stripe. Now that is for the up function. The yellow wire, green wire with the yellow stripe goes to the small blue wire with a white stripe. That's your down function. Coming off the switch in the back, the blue wire with the red stripe goes to the blue wire with the green stripe. And I'm not sure if you can see the green stripe, but it's there, right at the top. Okay, so, and it also has red indicators running down it as well, but these three have to be hooked up, and that's it. These other two, a red wire with a black stripe and the green wire with a blue stripe, leave them alone. I believe you can hook these to, I'm going to look through his modification further, Rad 4Runner on yodatech.com and toyota4runner.org, etc. Hooked up the door lock, or the window lock switch, window switch lock, sorry, to basically keep it safer so that cargo, etc. can't switch it off. What I'm going to do is put it in the underside of the cargo area pockets that I have here, the SR5 pockets. If you don't have those, you're going to have to come up with a different place to mount it. I had originally thought about mounting it right here on the back of the console. But you know what? I thought right by my head, up in the pocket, someone in the rear seat can reach it from either side, you know, in case of an emergency, etc. So just as I said, off of the switch, the back of the switch connector, if you have a separate connector, okay, this is for a modification if you're taking both sides of the switch and the connector side. I always take those at the yard because people are hacking the crap out of them anyway, and they just mutilate them. So I take it all, and I take as much as possible back to the harness. This way, I knew I could do this eventually, but also it gives me some wiggle room, which I definitely needed when I did my triple stakes with the added switch in the middle for the onboard air. Okay, so basically, once again, off the back of that, you have, off the back of your connector, you have a blue wire with a red stripe. All right, that is going to the blue wire with the green stripe in this harness. There's only one. You'll not find any others, so you can't really mix it up. The red wire with the yellow stripe is going to, let's get it to focus for you there, to the blue wire with the white stripe, and the green wire with the yellow stripe is going to the little blue wire with the white stripe. All right, now once you do this and you hook these three up, doesn't matter if your key's off, but your tailgate does have to be shut, unless you ground, I believe it's the green wire right here. So you'd have to ground that green wire with the blue stripe in order to bypass all the switches and roll your window up from the back, you know. I'm going to have to do that anyway in order to do some work on the tailgate and insulate the panels inside the tailgate. But basically, with it hooked up just like this, this switch now works with no key in. Alright, so, and just for out of funniest thing I just realized the other day, which is ridiculous, I've owned these for 20 years, that as the window's going up is the defroster tabs or strips that go along the window. I never really thought about it, but that's what it is. So anyway, okay, so now I am wired hot for a switch in the back, and like I said, I'm basically going to mount this upside down up into the back seat pocket. So it will not be visible by people walking by. Shh, don't tell anyone, all right? Excuse me. And otherwise I would have done it where Rad 4Runner, Ray, did his right back here. There's a crimp right in here. This is all wrapped and then also run through fairly thick tubing. I'm assuming that's because it comes around the edge right here and goes right up against the support of the inner of the rear panels. Anyway, so I will do a little test here and, you know, refreshing myself on which one is the ground so that I can actually leave that available to pull through and ground out if I had to, you know, in order to mount it. But I'm going to basically solder these up and wrap it clean and rewrap it. That's why I did these in a staggered manner, so that they're not going to be touching no matter what. They won't be rubbing on each other. So I'll solder all these in and rewrap them, and I'm good to go for my back window power switch without having the key on. So it's a good mod. I like it, and it's nice to be able to get up in the middle of the night when you really got to go, you know, and roll your window up. I've also done some video on a modification for this back tailgate window to speed up. If you're having issues and you know your switch and all that is testing out good, getting you know, proper resistance and all that at the window module and all that, there's a mod to replace this. It's anywhere from 86 to 91, I believe. Camry back seat driver's side window motor. Any of those years, 86 to 91 Camry, back seat, rear window, electric window motor will fit right in here. You just have to trim a little piece right here, or it bumps into the housing where it sits in. You just cut it basically is the piece that holds the wire in place. You have to cut the edge of that off just a little bit to get it to fit, but it'll work just fine. So that's it for this, and you know, I hate to do it like a kid, you know, again and again, but constant hot rear window switch for camping relief. All right, that's it. Chef Yoda 4x4, YodaTech.com, Instagram.